They're small, observant, and they have a frying pan. Hi, I'm EvoluGM, and welcome back to the show where we assess the celestial, monitor the monitor, and figure out the fungus. This is Meet the Monster, where we're going through the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster Monster Manual, or Monster Core, level by level, having a look at what the monsters can do and how we can use them. This week, we're looking at the Halfling Street Watcher. Monster Core tells us this. Halfling's keen sight makes them excellent street watchers. Though the job rarely calls for fighting, most street watchers cover themselves head to ankle in whatever armour and weapons they manage to get their hands on. A street watcher being a sort of information service to assist in protecting a town or city, kind of like a neighbourhood watch. Or they could perhaps be from a gang or some kind of enforcement agency instead, looking out for particular individuals that may or may not be wanted, or to give warnings if the law is nearby. You can kind of go on a law for law, chaotic side, as it were. You know what a halfling is, I'm sure. Small, often expected to be lucky, hobbits, but legally distinct. Naturally, they have the small and humanoid traits, as well as the halfling trait, and they are another level -1 creature. You have the same recall knowledge checks as you do for anything else at this level so far. Recall knowledge is a society humanoid roll with DC 13, unspecific law of DC 11, and specific law of DC 8. These halflings are trained in quite a wide variety of skills, which makes sense on account of them being a halfling and a street watcher. They're trained in acrobatics at +5 and athletics at +4. Some minor degree of these can be expected as there's a possibility of combat, and halflings being small and nimble are naturally going to be at least a little bit acrobatic anyway. They have some training in diplomacy as well at a +3, de-escalation is probably better for them than an all-out fight. Stealth is at +5, observation requires subtlety, and finally thievery +5. I mean, halflings being small helps with this again, but maybe you need to pinch something off of someone for evidence? Or perhaps if you're a less savoury kind of watcher, you're just straight up stealing from pockets on the side too. These skill modifiers are alright, but their perception is where they shine. I mean, they are called watchers. The halflings have a +8, and they can get even higher, but we'll get to that in a minute. No additional senses or enhanced vision, but they're going to be on streets that are either in the light or will be lit if it's dark, so that's not an issue. They have a moving speed of 25 feet for standard. And their attributes are as follows: strength of -1, dex of +3, con of +1, intelligence of +0, wisdom of +3, and charisma of +1. Alright, so how are their defences? Well, not bad. AC of 15 and 8 hit points is solid for level -1, especially for someone supposed to be more observing than fighting. They have leather armour, so that has helped boost their AC as well. Their saves are a mixed bag, as you may expect. Fortitude is low at a +3, Reflex is much better at a +8, and Will is somewhere in the middle at a +5. They are nimble observers, but definitely know when to be toughing it out in altercations. As for offensive capabilities, they have a melee and a ranged option. They have a frying pan and a halfling sling staff, like a sling on a stick kind of thing. The frying pan has a +9 to hit, with a +4 and -1 follow-up, with the fatal D8 trait. Its damage, as standard, is D4 -1 bludgeoning. As a reminder, fatal means that on a critical hit, the damage die increases to a different value, in this case a D8, and it deals an additional die of damage, which means that you're going from D4 -1 to 2D8 -1, or maybe 2D8 -2, depending on how you do crits, but still an awful lot more damage potentially. The halfling sling staff is at a +7, +2 and -3 if you're doing multi-attacks. It has the propulsive, a range increment of 80 feet, and the reload 1 traits. Its damage is a D10 -1 bludgeoning. So there's a lot of bludgeoning for them. It's decent range for the sling staff as well at 80 feet. Reload 1 means it costs 1 action to reload the weapon after it's fired. And propulsive means you get to add half your strength modifier to the damage if it's positive. Unfortunately for the halflings, theirs is negative, so the whole thing, hence the -1 on a ranged weapon. Perhaps not the best weapon suited to their fighting for them, but again, you're using whatever you can. So it's not great damage unless you got the drop on someone with the frying pan and get a crit, but against squishy low-level party members, that means it can certainly still be dangerous. The damage on their range weapon has a lot more variability, dealing from 1 to 9 damage, which can hurt lower level characters at low levels across the board. This would probably be what they'd want to be using most of the time. 80 feet range means you can attack, reload, and move back 25 feet in a round. Targets have to spend all 3 actions to only move 75 feet most of the time closer to you, and then maybe you can choose to attack and move back twice or something, until out of sight and able to sneak away and report back what has happened to their masters. Additionally, they have one other feature: keen eyes. The halfling gains a +2 circumstance bonus when using the seek action to find hidden or undetected creatures within 30 feet of it. Whenever the halfling targets a creature that is concealed or hidden from them, they reduce the DC of that flat check to 3 for concealed target or 9 for hidden one. This gives them a mighty +10 for seeking. It's very good, especially level -1, and reducing the TCs to detect hidden and concealed creatures by 2 is also very helpful. And this ultimately is what they are for. You get a halfling street watch on a road to look out for other gangs trying to encroach on their turf, or perhaps adventuring parties trying to sneak into their cellars. Or you have them with a group of some tougher, more fighty folk who can protect them, and then they are used as the eyes for the group, detecting where there might be traps or ambushes, and then supporting from afar with their sling staff when combat breaks out. And finally, as for uses for these guys, well, we've kind of gone over them already. They're lookouts and informants, potentially a more useful narrative tool than a combat one. Or you use them as eyes and ears for a larger battle group, and that's one that's perhaps on the whole less perceptive. There might be a tricky kind of element for a party to deal with, knowing that this is the main linchpin that they need to sort out, get off the board first, but they're the people who are most likely to notice you, so how are you going to deal with that? Halflings work rather well due to their size and innate agility, of course, but you could easily switch them out with any of the other small humanoid races, or even a large one if you liked, just maybe tweak the dex and strength stats a little bit. You could also give them different weapons or armour as per the intro info. They will use whatever they can get their hands on. You could give them some elixirs maybe if you wanted to up their abilities again, maybe some smoke bombs or quicksilver for getting out of dodge quickly, things like that. And that's pretty much going to be it for this one. The halflings are halfling street watchers, and that's certainly what they do, and they do it very well. Any ways that you've used the halfling street watcher, let me know down in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.